Black coffee, I've been told. Black coffee. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I love that old music. I tell you what, in 2020 when we had the pandemic and we were all shuttered into our homes, they came out 2020 with the retro swing, celebrating 100 years since the Roaring 20s. Hello, Mystery Rock. And I'm sorry, the 20s to me, if I could go back in time in America, the 20s would be it. The flappers, the very cool music. Oh my gosh, the buildings. Before the Depression, America was just booming. To go to the theater, to see a real production, to go downtown, they had the fights. I mean, the 20s were just cool. Cool stuff. Hello, Larishia. Hello, Cheryl. Cheryl, now you got me peaked. You got an old Victrola with the old stuff. Now you got my attention. Wind that baby up and let's play. I saw those up in northern Minnesota. I had a friend for many years, he had one of those, and he'd put on those scratchy old albums. Very cool stuff. I love that old stuff, man. But they came out with retro swing, and I was jamming to that in 2020. I've turned a few others onto it too. They're like, this is really good. I said, I know it is. You know, you hear such crappy music today. And I'm no offense, but in this culture in Augusta, they don't have good taste down there at all. And you go back a few years and the stuff was just made you want to get up and dance. It was just good stuff. But I was thinking today, you know, Ecclesiastes says meaningless, vanity of vanities, you know, and Solomon talks about setting his heart to do this and to do that. And that's cool, Cheryl. I love that old stuff. I would have me one. I would absolutely have me one. They're getting harder and harder to find. I don't know of too many down here in the South. I think you got a generation of people today, especially in the culture down there, they have no appreciation for that. Not a lot of compatibility with, well, yeah, we'll just stop right there. But Solomon, he tried drinking. He obviously had quite a few women at his beck and call. 700 wives and 300 concubines. Nope, they sure don't, but I do. No matter what happens, they're timeless. They'd rather go to IKEA and buy this gaudy looking cheap stuff that just doesn't last. They got a store down here called Dean's Appliances. And these beds, a lot of the black people buy them, and the headboard is just huge. And they go up and they're just domineering. I mean, they just take over the room. And their fabric, I don't know if I can describe this, but they're sewn in where the button is in the hole in the middle, and they're crushed velour, and they're purple, and really, I mean, they're kind of cool looking, but it's like I wouldn't have that in my house. That's just not me. My friend just down the street has this huge bed. I mean, they like these big, giant headboards, and I think of the Titanic era and those staterooms, the first class, man, tastefully done. I could live in one of those. But Solomon, he tried all these things, and he basically said, go do your job, enjoy your work, enjoy your food, Enjoy the simple things. Enjoy a song. I'm happy that I have a job. I can go work on my jigsaw puzzle. I can listen to music. I actually said, God, I know I've cussed and yelled and fussed, but thank you for giving me a house to work on. Thank you that the window trim was pretty easy last week, and it was involved, but it went smoothly. And we live in a world where people are just so discontent. They got to keep making new trash, mental trash. The auto industry has to keep pushing new stuff. And, you know, in the Depression, they had antique Hoosiers, all oak, beautiful with the glass, with the bubbles in the glass, because it was inferior glass. And people coming out of the Depression painted them. They painted them just, you know, colors and everything. And you see these things and it's like, why did they paint over oak? And they tried to pizzazz their world. They couldn't afford new furniture, so they took the old stuff and glopped paint all over it. No, I was not in psychosis. Yeah, I like the old oak Hoosiers. Some of those are worth some money now. I remember as a kid that went to Knott's Berry Farm in California, and my little ADD hyper mind went into a big room. It was a museum of player pianos and the old music boxes with the cut steel disc. Oh my gosh, my little kid mind was in love with that. To watch those old player pianos on those spools. And there was tambourines and drums and the piano would play and I was like, look at this stuff. And the old music boxes really moved me. The very, very cool sounds of that. Very, very awesome stuff. I love that song, Charleston. That's cool. Putting on the Ritz. Man, that stuff was fun. Really? Those things aren't cheap now. Some of those are upwards of, I was told years ago, some of those could ring in 6-digit figures. Hello, cake. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear cake. Happy many, 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 many birthdays to you. Hello, Sir Jacob. I hope you have a splendid birthday and have some cake. Yes, we've got to do birthday singing for my fans. Absolutely. I am dating nobody, Harley. Justin, how are you? Thank you. It is a pleasant evening, even here in Georgia. Got down to 48 this morning. I walked out the house in my t-shirt to go to work. I'm like, it's a mite bit chilly, perhaps. My bad. Have to stoke the furnace, Smithers. It's a mite bit nippy out. Nippy? Oh, yes. Kansas City, oh my gosh, in Kansas, there's nothing to stop the wind except the house or a building. I'm in good old Georgia. And I've been through Missouri several times on 65, through Branson, Chillicothe, Sedalia, Springfield, Lake of the Ozarks, Kentucky, huh? Windy there. So freaking windy. Kansas City. I liked Lake of the Ozarks. Every time I drove, I used to live in Duluth, Minnesota, Harley, and I used to drive down to Little Rock, a group of us in a school bus or a coach bus, and go down to Little Rock, Arkansas, and get brand new school buses and bring them up to northern Minnesota. And that drive on 65 was beautiful. You just wind up through the Ozarks, come across Missouri, and you go right by the Lake of the Ozarks. It's very cool. Man, I just think Maine is covered under snow most of the year, except in that few months of summer. I think it's interesting. My thermostat finally went below 80 last weekend. I was just shocked. Or last week. A halter top. Ooh, Kate. Oh my gosh. Don't tell me that. I like women in halter tops. Now that just turns me on. I have been through Kansas City. I have been through Joplin. I stayed at the KOA. And I did that in '86. And I heard the tornado really did a number on Joplin years ago. Oh yeah, when it gets down to the 60s, it is cold for us, E-Rock. Shoot, we're lightweights because we had so much hot weather. It gets cold and we're like, oh, I gotta turn on the furnace. I haven't turned it on yet. 41 degrees. What was the high today, Cheryl? I've been there a long time ago. Like I said, 1986, Harley. It was a while. I stayed at the KOA there. What a beautiful campground that was. I don't even know if that's still there. 60 foot high. I don't even know what we got up to. 70s. Hello, Miles. Cheryl, hold on to those old records in that Victrola. Don't let go of that. That's classic stuff. That is classic stuff, and I love it. There's such a cheapness to our age today. That camp place isn't here anymore. Wow. That's too bad. You don't own a cake. Where do you live? You told me, but I forgot. Ah, my alma mater. I was born and raised in LA. Torrance. Adopted out in Long Beach. I don't know how old you are, but they used to have a place there called Marineland, and that went out years ago. San Diego had Lion Country Safari. That's gone. Harley, I know that tornado came through there. I was living in Spokane, and I knew a lady who was driving bus with me, and she was from Joplin, and she was saying how terrible that tornado was. Really? Hawthorne. Now, my grandparents lived in Lawndale, which was right next door to Hawthorne. Yeah. Did it tear up KOA? That was a nice campground. That was one of the good KOA campgrounds. Wow, that's too bad. And they just never put it back. Wow. I remember witnessing to an atheist in the pool at the KOA campground. Boy, I remember that conversation well. That guy came after me, not the other way around. He started talking to me. He said, "Where are you guys headed?" I said, "Well, I'm going to check out Moody Bible Institute." Moody Bible Institute? Now, why would you go to that? Well, because I'm believing God. And then he started a discussion that went on and on. And while I was discussing, I noticed a young couple sat on the edge of the pool and were riveted to the discussion. And when we were done, they said, "We've never heard somebody talk, and we're kind of searching for answers, and we were listening to you. You seem to really know what you're talking about." I was like, wow, that's awesome. I love talking about the truth, man. It's powerful. I am almost 60. Hello, Samuel. All the leaves were brown and the skies were gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day, California dreaming if I was in LA. Yep, I am 59.5, silly Samuel. Well, thank you, Cheryl. One of my favorite songs by the Mamas and the Papas. Sia did a very haunting version of that to the movie San Andreas. Oh my gosh, that choked me up. They did a very haunting version of California Dreaming. And I still very much, I feel connected to California because I grew up there. I hate what Gavin Newsom's doing to the state. It's disgusting. I believe California is one of the best states of all 50 states. Harley, there's some questions I don't answer because of trolls. But there's too many personal questions, and there's some I'm just not going to answer because of trolls online. No, you're fine. You didn't know. It's just people today, people are scary. Hey, Mom, how are you? Mr. Erock gutted his way through his day, another day at work. My hat is off to him. I worked my butt off today. The other guy was not in today. And I was busy. I'm busy every day, but a lot to do today. And I kept on top of it. Ham sandwich. I'm all right, Mom. Wow, Harley, that's crazy. How old are you, if I can ask? You say that heating pad helps, E-Rock? 36. Man, yeah, I don't like all this violence, gun flinging, slinging. I believe in the right to keep and bear arms, but I'm getting tired of people shooting people. There's no excuse for that. Wow, Mom, it's cold in Ohio. Wow. Have the leaves started falling there yet? My one Charlie Brown tree on the side of the yard is losing its leaves. It's just about done. The other trees won't change until closer to January. Wow. And this year I don't have to rake up 10 billion tons of oak leaves because I got rid of the tree in the front and I got rid of the tree in the back, and a hurricane took out the other oak. So more than anything, I get the pine needles from the pines across the street that blow into the front of the property by the road. Josh, just a little bit of chit chat is all. Wow, don't you hate that, Mob? I like trees, but they are a mess. I still get leaves because I got the tree on the front, and then I get the blowover from there's a magnolia tree. They're waxy, thick leaves. They don't break down too well. On such a winter's day. I love that interlude. What is that instrument in there? La da 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 da. Man, is that beautiful. That's when music knew how to do it, man. Flute, yes. Oh man, I love that. Beast now, I love that sound. That interlude, I just feel like floating off with it. This morning or today at work, come on baby, light my fire. Gonna set the night on fire. I never saw that. This is for all the lonely people thinking that life has passed you by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup. Ride that highway in the sky. Well, I'm on my way. Yeah, the radio. or my YouTube. That's it. People are strange when you're a stranger. When you're strange, people remember your name. When you're strange, when you're strange. I don't have an organ. Lost Boys. What is Lost Boys? Just remember, I was born in this year in one of the greatest highways that ever was. Route 66, baby. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid, Mr. E-Rock. I totally missed it. Cheryl, oh my gosh. Strumming my organ. Good one, Cheryl. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Hi, Selena. Sheesh. Cheryl's being naughty, Mr. E-Rock. Cheryl's being really naughty. I've been on parts of it. Some of it actually slightly parallels Interstate. Is it 10? It goes through Arizona. Yeah. Little towns that are just dried up. Every time we go from Prescott, Arizona to Los Angeles, we jump down 89 and get over to, Wickenburg. Get down there on the I-10 and go through places like Blythe and Needles. Blythe is just hotter than Hades. I mean, that's 29 Palms, Palm Springs. That's just hot, man. They don't got the humidity like here, but it is hot. Oh yeah, Burning Man is still a thing. They had a big old mess this year and everybody got stuck in the mud and it was a total disaster. But yeah, I heard it's pretty decadent.